Hello everybody and welcome to Fantastic Fun Folds. My name is Tatiana. I'm from Tatiana Creative Stamping Adventure. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Australia. Monday nights at 8 p.m. I go live, which is right now, and I share a new or a different fun fold because as card makers we can change things up. We don't have to have traditional store-bought card folds. We're making our cards. We can make them amazing and wonderful and fantastic and beautiful and stunning and every positive adjective you can think of. So I have been sharing a series now. I'm calling it Fantastic Fun Folds, and it's basically to inspire you and to teach you and to share with you different ways that you can mix up your card making. You know you're watching live if you see the little red live right there. Don't worry if you don't see that, you're watching the recording and that is absolutely perfect. Please still say hi and let me know that you're watching. I enjoy reading everyone's comments. If you're watching on YouTube, please do say hi again. Same rules apply, just I'm not live. Hi Renee. So I'm going to do a variant on a gatefold card. I was doing some Pinteresting and saw this and I thought this would be fun. So let's head to the craft desk and get started. So this is the setup. I've got a sneak preview. So I have been playing with zany zebras today and I did a variation and we're going to do something, not the card wise, but we're going to do something similar. But this is so cute. This is one of those stamp sets when I saw the new catalogue I went, I have to have this one. Lots of fun. But let's, as always, create the card base first so that we can get decorating. I have an A4 sheet of Seafoam green, and then I've got a full sheet here of DSP from the, what's this DSP pack called? It's the Forever Greenery Suite, but not the, what's the DSP? Forever Greenery DSP. There we go, I had it right. And it's a beautiful pack, and I thought these stripes would be fun with the zebras. So that was the logic, and the other side is this beautiful paper. Now we do need our trimmer, and it is a bit of a, it's not a tricky fold, it's just, I don't even know if I'd call it complicated. Basically what we need to do is we're going to cut out 2 rectangles from here. And the brilliant thing about this is that Stampin' Up! Now has a metric guide to their trimmer, but I haven't bought it yet because it only released last week. So this one is an inch guide, and it would be easier if I had the metric guide, but I don't. That's okay. What I'm going to do is score first. So we want to score it halfway down the, I don't understand that, just halfway. And so that's in A4, that will be at 14.8. And if you're in metric, you will be cutting yours at, scoring, sorry, at 5.5, which is halfway of the letter. Yes, Kayla, I actually didn't think I needed the metric cutter until now. And now we're going to cut off 5.2 centimeters worth, and in inches that's 2 1/8. And so I'm cutting to the score line. This is where the metric guide would have been handy, but I'm just going to cut to my score line. That should do the trick. I've cut just a bit beyond that, but that's okay. And then same thing on this side. It's 5.2 from that edge. Which I'm going to flip it and cut from the bottom here. So 5.2. I know that's not quite on screen. And again, cutting to my score line. If you use the guide here on the ruler, it could be that little bit more accurate. But basically there, I've got that, and now we're going to chop those two off carefully. So I line that back up at 14.8 and cut to my first cut line. There, beautiful, came out. And now I've lifted up the guide to bring the blade up to the top because we don't want to cut off this bit. And now we cut down. There. Oh, perfect. The one last thing is that you want to score down here in line with that. So that was 5.2. And now I'm just going to score that. And 5.2. I'll go through those measurements again in a second and score that. So that is the most complicated part of this card. I'm just going to go through those measurements again because it was hard to cut, measure, talk, and do both imperial and metric. So basically the card base is cutting these two bits out. In the A4 paper, this is 5.2 by 14.8 centimeters, and you're cutting those both out. In the letter paper, this would be 2 1/8 of an inch by 5.5 inches, and two of those. You're scoring halfway down. In metric, it's 14.8 centimeters, and in letter, that will be 5.5 inches. And then you're scoring in. That first score line is at 5.2. The second score line, if you would like to do it that way, is 15.6 or 5.2 from that edge. And in imperial, that is at 2 1/8, and then 6 3/8 or 2 1/8 from that side. Hope that all makes sense. And that forms our card base. Let's fold it and show you what it's all about. So we fold this flap down. Put that in line there. Just burnishing it there. And then I'm going to lift and fold those two in and burnish them. And when we open it all up and close it all in, oh, I didn't go quite straight. I need to trim that bit off. There we go. Just off a tiny bit. How good is that trimmer? Look at that. It cut the tiniest slither off with ease. Just gonna tidy that up with my snips. Perfect. And now you can see our gatefold card. Putting trimmer down. So that's our gatefold card variation. And so you open it, you have this flap, and then that opens up and it can stand up like that. Something different. The place that I saw this, what did they call it? They called it a gatefold variation, no, alternative gatefold. You can call it an A-frame gatefold because this bit is like an A-frame card. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Let me say hello to those who I haven't. Hello, Fran, Jessica, Nicole, Skylar, nice to see you here. And I think, hello, Tanya, Monica, Elizabeth. I think I've got everyone. So now let's cut some DSP. for decorating. I'm going to put DSP on the front here. So a front panel DSP, and then I'm going to put the same DSP down these two side panels. So let's cut that. And we need it to be 14.3 centimeters wide. So is that right? No. I should measure twice and cut once, shouldn't I? I need it 10 centimeters wide. That's okay. I have a nice little strip there. Put that to the side. Now for the front panel, what I'm going to do is cut it one section and then cut it in half. So the front panel, I would like it 10 centimeters by 14.3. That's where the 14 came from. And in Imperial, the DSP is pretty, Tanya. In Imperial, that would be 4 inches by 5¼ and then cutting in half. So in my case, it's at cutting 5 centimeters. And in the inches, you cut in half at 2 inches. So that's for our front. And then we're going to cut the DSP for the inside. And that's also going to be 14.3 height. Hey Priscilla, don't need that piece. And we need 2 of these, which is 4.75. I know that that's very specific. And we need 2 of those. Concentrating. And in Imperial, that would be 1 7/8 of an inch and 5¼ inch, and 2 of those. And let's do some adhering before we lose where they go. These are the inside panels, and I've cut them to have a little bit of a border of the soft sea foam. Where did my glue go? It's not in its little holder. It wouldn't be a Tatiana video without me losing something, would it? You kidding me? Oh, here it is, in the wrong spot. Thank you, Priscilla. These are more Coastal Cabana nails, I've got to say, but it's in the green tones. Yes, I agree with that. And did I say hello to Kathy and Romana? If not, hello, thank you for joining me. I'm gluing these down. A, I don't need to do anything else to them, and B, that way I don't lose them. And swoosh. Placing that down. And for the front, we attach that. Now this has been designed so that in the middle of the front of the card it does match up, and it gives you a little bit of a border around the card. So that's how you glue it. You can cut yours however you like. Hello Vicky, thanks for joining me. We're doing a variant on an A-fold. No, well, yes, I could say a variant on the A-fold, but the point is it's a variant of a gatefold. And I haven't decided if we want a belly band yet. You guys will let me know, because we can add that in. It's something we haven't done in Fantastic Fun Folds yet. I'm gluing this one down, lining up the DSP. So the 2 DSP pieces meet at the middle at the cut fold, then they open up and open up. We need 2 more pieces. one whisper white here and one whisper white here, which I have pre-cut. Belly band would be okay. We're getting yeses for the belly bands. So this is my usual 10 centimeters by 14.3 centimeters, and imperial, that would be, looking at my notes and I can't say, there it is, 4 inches by 5¼ inches. And I'm not going to glue this one in yet because we're going to decorate it. And actually I won't glue either in yet because we will decorate them. But let's now create the front of the card. So I've got this cute idea. I've got a scalloped square in Pretty Peacock, which I'm pretty sure is the same color as these beautiful stripes. And then I've got a stitched square which sits quite nicely right there. And we are going to stamp some zebras. The stitched piece of cardstock is watercolor paper, and we're going to stamp those beautiful zebras from the Zany Zebra stamp set. I am today using Stays On ink because I'm going to watercolor the background, and Stays On ink will not bleed when you use water. And my first little zebra is this little guy looking over his shoulder, and we're going to stamp him right in the middle. We're going to be doing some masking. So I've got my mask all cut out, but I think I just need to cut out a little bit more of the tail. So I didn't realize I'd stamp him so high. Okay, so inking up. This is a good thing that you can't smell through live videos because this is the smelly ink. Okay, we're going to place the little zebra, not all the way up. I want most of his legs kind of chopped off. Not chopped off, just off the square. There we go. And because this is Stays On ink, I need to use the Stays On cleaner. It's a permanent ink, and if you don't use the cleaner, you'll find that you won't be able to get it off your stamps. And I have one chamois which is darker, and that's the one I use to then remove that off. And then after the video is finished, I will go through my stamps and clean them properly with the Stampin' Mist, with the Stampin', this is not peeling off very well. So this is my mask, which I'd already shown you, and it was stamped on almost a full, that'll be all right. I'll just bring out the packet. So it's a Post-it note full adhesive. So majority of the backing of the Post-it note is adhesive. And now I'm just going to line him up. And you can see when I trimmed the mask, I specifically trimmed a little bit in from the hairline. And that is very much on purpose. So I'll bring that up to the camera. You can still see some of his hair sticking out there from underneath the mask, and that is very purposeful so that it kind of blends in a bit more and there isn't that little line. So there's 3 zebras in the stamp. We're going to use all 3. I'm taking this little guy who's looking this way, and he's going to be standing behind. So you always stamp, when you're masking and creating a scene with multiple stamps, you always stamp the stamp that wants to be in the foreground, and then you mask that off and then stamp the ones behind. And his nose is going to be slightly covered, but that's okay. And then so these 2 guys, I'll stamp the 3rd and then clean, are like stopped and waiting for this little guy who's galloping along. See, I've got a storyline to go with this too. They're like, come on, you can come. You can catch up with us. Just looking at that mask. Now we'll reposition for mask. Let's see. Yep, this way. So stamping this one. There we go. So cute. Now, don't throw out the plastic cover off your StazOn ink. Put that back on, and then your lid. And I'm going to use that. The zebras are adorable. Made one card today and used the zebras. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, I'll be sharing that card Friday morning on my blog, so I won't share anything tonight, but I can say it's stinking cute. Tanya's seen it, haven't you? Well, actually, you didn't know I was going to share it on Friday, but yeah, you've seen the card I made today and can't wait to share that. And now we can lift off our mask, and the little zebras are there. Oh, don't know why I was opening that. Can we hear that background music? My husband just walked past playing some very classical music. Now, because I had so much fun in the card I did today, that I basically want to repeat it, the concept a little bit today. So we're going to now watercolor the background, and I'm super duper excited to share the new water painted brushes from Stampin' Up. The brushes are $20, so I think they're $1 cheaper than the previous ones, but this time you get 3, and the nibs are very distinctly different. You get this really big wide one, which we will not use today. So I'm going to just cover that one up. And then we have very larger and a much smaller nib. And I'm going to use this one so that I can get into the delicate details of things. I have realized that I haven't got enough water. Now, the thing with these ones, I would say that this is the fill line, this ridge right here, and they untwist the opposite direction to what normally things untwist. So the first time I opened these, I couldn't, well actually there we go. When I screw them on, I'm having trouble because it's in the opposite direction to usual. But once you get your head around that, it's pretty cool. So the 3 bodies are interchangeable, doesn't matter which brush, which is handy because I had one filled and the other 2 not. And what color? I was going to use Balmy Blue. You love the big wide one. Yes, I played with that. Let's see. I can show you a sneak peek. I played with that and the new In Colors on the weekend. So this is the big panels are using that big wide brush. How cute are they? Now, Balmy Blue ink, and this is my favorite way of getting some ink. Just pressing it onto a clear block. And then I'm going to drip some water and now could use the bigger brush, but then I'm not going to get into the itty bitty detail as easily. So I'm going to go over the entire background fairly quickly. It doesn't bother me if the coverage is not even, if that makes sense. I want a bit of watercolory effect, texture stuff happening. And I know zebras wouldn't be galloping in the sky, but we're going to pretend we can't see the ground. You could always add a bit of green for the ground. So this is why I've picked the thinner brush, because I can get into those little crevices. And then I'm going to just grab a little bit of a dry cloth and dry up, kind of like cloud effect. So dry off some areas so that like we have a bit of cloud in the sky. So I get silent when I'm concentrating. And then again, so this is just a cleaning cloth that I had on my desk that I was using today. And now I'm going to just use my heat tool a little bit because I want to dry this ink a bit so that I can do another layer, and you can see the different tonal areas then dry up, and it creates this nice texture and look. Hello Patricia, are you on your lunch break again? Oh, that was just a quick dry. Now I'm bringing in some more ink. I'm going to create some shadows around zebras. Underneath that side. Just play around with it, have fun, dab a bit. You can grab a tissue to dab. And you can see that the ink isn't bleeding. I just want a bit more. So I'm building the color by layering it. And I'm no pro. I will say this, I'm not well, I've studied art, but I'm not an artist. And I'm definitely not a watercolor expert. In fact, I never really did watercoloring when I studied art. Hello Karen. Patricia, because we're friends, it tells me when my friends are watching. So that's how I knew. There we go, and I did get a bit of blue on this. So I know this seems weird, but I got a little bit of blue ink onto the zebra where I didn't want it. So I'm not squeezing the brush at all, but I'm just diluting that ever so slightly so that it's not as obvious. This is watercolor paper, so you're not going to get the same watercolor texture look, if that makes any sense, when using the shimmery white. You will still get something similar, but it'll be different. I've chosen watercolor paper because I really wanted it to be able to absorb that water and the color and just add that extra look to it. But certainly you can get something similar using the shimmery white. I wouldn't recommend the Whisper White, regular white or thick, because the paper will peel with all the water that I've used. The zebras are so stinking cute. Absolutely. And that is going to go down on this pre-cut not stitch square. So the zebras are on a stitched square, and we're going to put them. I love the new brushes, Karen. They are fabulous. I really love the little skinny one that I used today. I can get such great detail out of it, and I'm raving about them, and I love that you get 3 for the same price. Essentially, it's really good value. So that's really cute, just as that. And then that's gonna go there. Oh, I forgot to stamp the sentiment, which I'd prepped, but that's okay, we can stamp it now. I've got a sentiment here which I thought was really cute from the stamp set, and it's "Wild About You," with the little zebras, and I don't know, this kind of jungly. I think of the jungle when I look at this particular piece of DSP. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, The lion sleeps tonight. There we go, some singing as well. We watched The Lion King with the kids, the non-animated animated one, if you know what I mean. The live action that's really animated. Okay. Wild About You. So I could have stamped that before because it would have not run with the watercoloring, but that's okay. You haven't tried them yet? Oh my goodness, you need to try them. They are fabulous. Again, stays on ink cleaner. And now let's attach this to our card front. You love The Lion King, Tanya? I do too. So does hubby. And then I've also got a also die cut this leaf from, do we want the leaf? What do we think? With or without the die cut leaf? Except I will trim it. Snips. So I've got this leaf from the Forever Greenery. Let me know what you think. With? Okay. With it is. So the leaf, what we'll do is we'll stick the leaf down to the card front right there. So I'm adding that. Just adding a little bit of glue. I'm not squeezing terribly hard. Oh, smaller better, yes. Tanya says without. Well, I'm already adding glue, Tanya. Plus, your daughter said. So adding that there. And then this one, we don't want to attach it to the entire card because otherwise our gatefold won't work. So I'm going to attach it to the side with the leaves, but I'm going to use dimensional. So I'm going to attach to this side. So I'm flipping, holding that side. And I know that this is the side I want to put the dimensionals on. And then, I know, a bit overkill, but it's going to look pretty. Lining that, centering it at the top. And there we go. There is our card. And you've got two places to basically write. So we need to decorate this one. Before we do the belly band, we need to decorate this page. Wild About You. It's time to celebrate, or you happy animal? You party animal? Can't read, can I? What do we think? Thumbs up for a party animal, and it's time to celebrate. Give me a love heart. The zebras are so adorable. While you guys are deciding, I'm going to stamp another zebra. I'm going to stamp this little guy. I'm going to stamp him right there. I'm seeing love hearts and a thumbs up, but I saw about equal. Another thumbs up. Okay, the thumbs have it. So I'm inking up this little zebra. So stinking cute. Oh, I've got lots more love hearts now happening. Thumbs, thumbs, thumbs. Patricia, you are very keen on me using You Party Animal. And so is Sky. So I saw so many thumbs just then that I cannot ignore it. You Party Animal. And then since it's a party animal, let's put a little party hat on our zebra. I haven't used the party hat yet, so I might not line this up very well, but actually what would be smarter is to grab a scrap. Ooh, do a little bit of it's your job. Okay, so I've done the party hat just on a piece of Whisper White, and we'll do a little bit of fussy cutting to get that. You Party Animal, where should I put that? I feel like it should be blank at the top. You Party Animal. There. Keeping the ink simple today by using Stays On, pretty much. No, don't use that on the as a cleaner. Gosh. Goes to the side. And even though I said not to watercolor on Whisper White, because I'm not going to do too much watercoloring, and we still got a bit of color left on our block there. Waste not, want not. I'm going to add that same blue to the... See what I mean? That fine detail was absolutely easy to do using this real fine brush. Some extra for some shading. So Karen, you were asking what I thought of them, and I love them. Hi Joanne, how are you? We're going to fussy cut the itty bitty party hat. Not being too careful, really. But honestly, this party hat, how cute is that? Trim that bit off. And now we can add... Show you my favorite trick. I've shared this before, but take your pick tool. So when you're trying to glue little bits of paper, use your take your pick tool. Pick it up, then add the glue, and then stick it down. So much easier. Put the party hat right there. How cute is that? Bring that up. Cute. And that's going on our first inside of the card. Got the second one sticking out. Thank you for the love. So let's take a step back. Front of card, gatefold, still to create the belly band. Open, open, you party animal. And then we've got the inside, which is here, and we're going to stamp that little cute zebra. That one, the one looking over its shoulder. So I'm just going to bring grid paper so that I'm not stamping on my table. So this table cleans really well, I've got to say, but it won't clean so well from Stays On. So add this little zebra right here. Oh, so cute. I'm telling you, the zebras are so cute. And a bit of Stays On remover. So I'm not even squeezing the bottle, I'm just pushing it upside down, and it has a little cleaning pad on top. But you always need to clean it off with water afterwards, and that's why I've got this chamois. You can see it's very black. That's from the Stays On. And believe me, I don't use it that much, but it gets black fairly quickly. I'll give all of those a quick clean. And now let me add, where did my glue? Found it. We'll add the inside panel. I haven't talked about this, but if you like to have this card sent to somebody to let them know that you are thinking of them, nominate now. So basically they have to be in Australia. You don't have to name them publicly here. You can just say my friend, my aunt, my uncle, my sister, my niece, my brother, and I will draw out someone to receive this card in the mail. Wild about you, you party animal. And then with lots of little cute zebras. We've got 2 more things to do. 1 is to stamp the envelope, and 2 is to create that belly band. We'll do the envelope first. And what we shall do with the envelope is on the envelope back we'll stamp this little guy, because he hasn't been stamped for a second. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, Skylar, for your nomination. So I'll draw out whose nominee gets the card in my next live on Wednesday. And there, perfect. And while I'm still thinking about how to do, not how to do the belly band, but what to do for the belly band. Oh, thank you, Patricia. We will just add a little bit of sparkle to this card. Because zebras are cute. Don't get me wrong. They're adorable. But do you know what's more adorable than zebras? It's zebras with Wink of Stella. So I've got my Wink of Stella brush here, and I'm just going to, ooh, pulled it off. There we go. I'm going to add wherever the stripes are, and on the hoofs and the tail, wherever I feel like it. I'm going to add some Wink of Stella to these gorgeous zebras. Won't add them to the envelope zebra though. Right. Don't know if that's showing up right now, but I'll pick it up in a second and show it on the camera so that you can see. But I can see it. And it's so stinking cute. Let's see. Is that catching the light? I hope that's catching the light. And you can see the Wink of Stella. If not, you're gonna have to trust me. It is cute. The video is caught up. No, the lighting ain't good enough. Sorry, you're gonna have to just trust me that that is there. I mean, you can see me putting it on. Just need to squeeze a bit more. So essentially when I use Wink of Stella, I'm not squeezing much at all. Every so often I'll need to squeeze some more in. I may have used it out today. You love it? You know, your parcel is on its way. You're in Colour Club. I think you saw the email though, so you should know that already. I'm so excited. Can't wait for you to collect all 5 colours because they're so cute. There we go. And since you guys asked, well, you didn't ask, but said yes, let's create a belly band for this card. That's my 3rd Wink of Stella, and I've kept the other 2. So here's a tip. don't throw out your wink of stellars. You can use them. I will do another video where I share that information, but yeah. So that's my third wink of stellar. These are my 2 empty ones. I keep them in a separate section so that I know which one is which. And a little belly band. I think we'll do just a small belly band. We don't need a big belly band. And balmy blue, maybe a balmy blue belly band. Yes, I think so. Stay tuned. I will create a video and I have ideas on how to extend them. Well, I've seen videos on, briefly I'm going to talk about this, that you can add a bit of rubbing alcohol into your wink of stellar and that extends its life a bit, because when they're empty, if you hold them up to the light, I'm not sure if the video is picking that up, but I can still see a little bit of glitter. So one of them I'm going to try by adding some alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and the other one I'm going to create basically an aqua painter out of it. Anyhow, back to the zebras. What do we think? Balmy blue? Or, so thumbs up for the balmy blue, or love heart for the pretty peacock. So it'll kind of sit underneath here, the belly band. What do we think? Might just cut both and see. Where did I put that trimmer? I'm going to do a thin belly band. I see a love heart, that means love, love, love. Love. So I think this card doesn't need a big belly band. I think it just needs a little one. And yeah. Oh, actually, I like the size of it. That at 1.5 centimeters. So in inches, I would cut it, let's see, 1, 2, half an inch to 3/4 of an inch. Oh, hey, Helen. I'll have to do a video. Definitely the thing. So lots of ways to do a belly band. I'm going to do the cheat way essentially, and that is I'm going to line it up here and I'm going to fold over, because I find when you pre-score these things they never line up properly, whereas if I do it this way, use both. Ooh, interesting thought, Romana. So basically all I've done is folded it over and I've made it a little bit loose so that it can slide on and off. And what we can do is, I don't think it needs decoration. So sometimes belly bands need decoration, but not this one. This one just needs to be plain and simple. So what I like to do is use tear and tape, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Where's that from? And then I put it onto my project that I'm belly banding. That is a technical term. And because I'm just going to throw out that little strip. If I trim the belly band, it's just going to be thrown out. So I am just keeping the full length of the paper. Okay. You're genius. You caught me just in time. Oh, not that one. The subtle 3D embossing folder would be perfect for this. That's what I'm going to do. The main thing is I want this middle section embossed. How is that going to go through the machine? There. I'm going to emboss it. Thank you, Kay. Great idea. Hold on. Yep, I can run it through. I'll run it through. So normally you would run your embossing folders with that side going first, but because we can't do that, I will run my embossing folder very carefully this way. And the reason why you don't normally do it this way is because the die cutting machine can shave this edge, and that's not great. So be very careful. Never remember the combo. Aha. Yes, the subtle folder. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So back to what I was saying. Let's place it down on your project. Oh, I love that subtle embossing folder. Now, I know the back isn't embossed, but that doesn't really matter. Now I can take my pointy end of the Take Your Pick tool, peel that bit off, line it up, and then peel this bit off and line it up. And there's the belly band. So a very simple belly band today. We might do a card with a belly band in the future. And there, so you just simply slip that off. Now it's loose enough to be slipped on and off, but it's tight enough to keep the card together. Slip wild about you, you party animal. Ta-da! How cute is that? Any ideas on what to call this fold? Please shoot them through. Otherwise, I'm calling it a A-frame gatefold card. And just to show you, you can slip the belly band back on. I could have put it through the embossing folder folded. That is a very good point, Helen. I just wasn't thinking of it, considering I didn't think of doing it in the first place. So many brilliant ideas shared tonight. Not just from me, that's the point. There were many brilliant ideas shared by you people, you wonderful watchers. Viewers, watchers. Viewers sounds better, doesn't it? Yeah. What about a French door card? Well, the fold at the front, Joanne, is called a gate fold because it's like a gate. So I don't want to push tradition. I don't feel like I'm worthy enough to rename things per se. But anyhow, I have taken up enough of your time tonight. Thank you so much for watching and joining me. If you are interested in any of the products that I've used tonight, feel free. Aussie door card. Love it, Patricia. As I was saying, if you are interested in any of the products tonight, please let me know. I'm happy to send you a catalogue as long as you're based in Australia or you don't have a demonstrator through whom you purchase already. Otherwise, I shall see you on Wednesday at 10 AM for another session of creativity time. Oh, I should say next Monday night there won't be any fantastic fun folds. I am going to be visiting my parents for the first time since COVID, so I'm just going to spend some time with them. But I will see you on Wednesday. Thank you so much for watching, and bye for now. Oh, it's going to shake for a second. Got to take the phone out.